Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty. Right before you is tennis star, icon, legend, the greatest female player of all time, Miss Serena Williams. These pictures before you were taken at the 2018 US Open, in which unfortunately she was defeated by Naomi Osaka. During these pictures right here, the umpire seen something that Serena did not see. He stated that she was cheating in the form of getting illegal coaching. Serena had no clue as to what he was talking about, and she adamantly declared her innocence. Understand that her and Serena have been accused of cheating, steroid use, almost since really when they got to be grown women. So Serena is very sensitive to this topic of cheating. She has never used a performance-enhancing drugs, in which her Venus has been accused of using. So that's a very sticky point for her. So Serena had no clue as to what he was talking about, which caused her to react in this particular way. Now, Serena was rattled by this. It affected her play, which I told you she ended up losing to Naomi. And it left a very bad impression the world over, because there are many people who don't like them for whatever reason, Serena and Venus, and they want to believe that she was cheating. Many have a very difficult time believing that a black woman from a poor area whose father had no experience in coaching can rise up to be the greatest female tennis player of all time. But there's a unfortunate scenario that occurred with this, that the very people who should have been protecting her and had her back did not. She was virtually thrown under the bus. It was needless and unnecessary. Just watch this.
Insert yourself in the way that it happened. Can you describe the motion that you made that was interpreted by the chair umpire as coaching?
Well, I'm honest. I was coaching. I don't think she looked at me, so that's why she didn't even think I was. But I was like 100% of the coaches on 100% of the matches. So we have to stop this hypocrite thing. Sasha was coaching every point too. And it's strange because this chair umpire was the chair umpire of most of the finals of Rafa, and Tony's coaching every single point, and he never gave a warning, so I don't really get it.
Do you think Serena understood the rule that a coaching violation counted as the code of conduct? Therefore, when she broke her racket, she had the point taken away. Do you think she understood that?
I don't think so, but she's in her match. She shouldn't have to think about that, and she should be able to express her emotions. There are positive emotions, negative emotions. She's human. Those two rules are killing tennis. I've always said it, not tonight. I've always said not to allow the players.
So you can see a very visibly distraught Williams. Her eyes tell the story. Here she is right here, giving that umpire a mouthful, which is understandable under these circumstances. And this was Naomi Osaka suffers the agony of victory over idol Serena Williams. Serena lost. And you just heard Patrick Merrick admit that I was coaching Serena during the match. So apparently Serena had no idea of what he was doing. Which, he rubs me the wrong way. There was a lot of things he could have said. He could have said no, he wasn't. He could have covered it up. But instead, he chose to throw her under the bus. Wasn't he aware of the reputation the false reputation and accusations that have been thrown in the way of Venus and Serena, you know, and I have heard people through the years say, why would he do that? And why would she allow him to stay on as her coach after he pretty much just threw her under the bus? Now, you guys are going to have to follow me very carefully because I'm going to have to tread and speak very carefully as to what I'm going to say. It may not be direct because it's for a purpose. Because this topic can be very sensitive. So you don't want to end up getting legal action, even though I'm a very small YouTuber at the moment. But just follow me carefully. Serena and her coach have been together since 2013. He took over after she was suffering a series of losses, which she should have won. And I believe her father found him for her. And sometimes when you're a coach, you should stay as a coach. People can make the biggest mistake by not allowing a relationship to remain professional. That mistake can cost you later on. I would not advise anyone to get involved with a coach other than coaching. You know, you don't want to put yourself in a compromising position because once things go farther off the court, off the field, off the sporting spectrum, you tend to do what couples do. And one of the things that couples do, obviously, you know, we're in a picture age where we take pictures, photos, videos of people we find very sexy, very attractive. We take them in the nude. We videotape things. We have them in all kinds of compromising positions. Serena comes off to me, to be honest with you, as being very loving, but gullible and naive. Almost childlike in some ways, where she can trust the wrong people. Venus seems more guarded, more not as trusting or as open as Serena. So people may ask, why would someone who's a great icon, who's a legend, who's a star, allow someone to throw them under the bus like that, make them out to be a liar, but yet still have them in her circle? Well, did you just hear what I said? We're in a picture age, a video age. You take it beyond the court. People have evidence. They have compromising pictures, photos, videos that you just really have put yourself in a position to have them into your life until your career is over. Allegedly, some people have stated that they were an item. Okay, I don't know what type of an item, but there are pictures out there that shows her and him before they had moved on from each other and just resumed a coaching and client relationship. Now that can be an impropriety and a conflict of interest because there's not a dynamic there. Even though you have a superstar icon, a coach would still have the more power position that the person would look up to and seek comfort, obviously, into their abilities, you know? So that can be a very much conflict of interest that could have been violated. But then again, we're dealing with two grown consenting adults. So you kind of wonder. Now, here's a client of Patrick, or I should say he was a coach of someone. He didn't care about my mental health. Serena Williams coach Merrick slammed by former protege. So apparently, though, if you're going to allow boundaries to be crossed, then I guess I can kind of believe this right here of not caring about someone's mental health. You really have to ask yourself, what was someone thinking by who's a superstar, icon, legend, by allowing certain lines to be crossed? I guess you could say they were not thinking clearly. And keep one thing in mind, because they were not thinking clearly, lines crossed, what were they thinking? Because it's going to lead to something. When Serena moved on, she was seen with, after 3 years, I should say, she was seen in a restaurant with Drake. So you have to wonder, did Serena end the relationship? Which I believe so. Could someone have gotten salty and threatened her in some type of a way? Because Nike is paying her millions upon millions upon millions a year. She's now worth around $200 million. And she is the highest paid female athlete in the world. Well, pardon me, I think Naomi is now. At that particular time, it might have been Sharapova. Then Sharapova got into the drug scandal, Maldonium. Then it dropped her down. Then Serena was before Naomi Osaka came along. But Serena is still making millions of money with Nike. Here we go right here. Serena Williams warned off Drake by friends after pair are pictured getting very cozy over dinner. So she moved on. Someone could have gotten salty, could have gotten very bitter, angry, threatened to release possible evidence of a person in a compromising position. Or they could have talked about certain things in which they know. Which is the only reason why I would think that you would keep a snake on in your inner circle. But let's move on right here. Because this is Bianca Andreescu. Becomes the first Canadian to win a Grand Slam, denies Serena Williams. You know, before the final, this same coach of Serena's complimented her glowingly before a final with his client. Who in the hell does that? Why would you do that? I did not hear Andrea's coach complimenting Serena. Why would you go out of your way to compliment an opponent who's going to face your client in a final? That's very shady. And after Serena moved on, he moved on too, with a very similar female who looks something like Serena, same characteristics in some ways. I mean, same coloration, but he created a mini Olympia. So you would hope that, you know, both people are happy now in their new relationships. Here he is with the female. This is after Serena. Here she is again. Here they are again, all glowing and happy. And he's all into the black thing. Black Lives Matter. Okay, he's representing. Here she is again. And notice one thing. She never takes that wig off. Now, that's just going to be part like the wig thing, because I'm going to bring up something with that. So apparently he likes her with the wig on. Because if he didn't, then he would say, you know, go natural and show your real hair. But she's always with that wig on. But I'm going to tell you why I mentioned that. Here's his mini Olympia. Now, why is Serena's shady coach there? Is he giving away all the Queen's secrets? Someone says trying to integrate himself into Coco's circle to take over when Serena retires. So here's Patrick Merrick at the bottom right there with his head down. There he goes again at the tennis match of Coco Guff, the 16-year-old phenom. Here's Coco right here. She's 16 years old. Now, remember I told you about the wig? Now, Coco has extensions right here. So apparently, this is a type of look that Patrick likes. That's why I mentioned that. But let me just tell you one thing. This is a disaster in the making. I would hope that her father and her mother will put a stop to that. Because what he's trying to do, he's trying to ingratiate himself into her circle so that when Serena retires, he has another protege he can latch on to. She's 16 years old. This is someone he can be with for the next 20 years. But let me tell you the big problem that I have with this and what I feel is coming. You don't want to put your daughter in a position to be having an inappropriate relationship with a coach who has proven that he's capable of doing that, who has proven that he's capable of crossing the line, who has proven that he can be very shady. So parents need to be parents and guard against things like that and not look at, well, he coached someone to multiple majors. Maybe he can do the same for our daughter. But they just need to be very careful and be very cautious and not bury your head in the sand and see the evidence that's there. Here's Coco with her extensions right there. I mentioned that to say because we know that Patrick apparently likes that type of look. The wigs, the weave. His current partner, wife, whoever it is, girlfriend, is not seen without it. So this is a look that he likes. Hopefully Coco can keep the joy in her. The last thing that she needs to be involved in is some type of a coach who has other, motives beside the tennis court. Men can be men. They see someone who they find attractive. She's very young. She's ripe for the picking. His girlfriend and companion is older. Coco's a challenge. She's very young. Believe me, he will go there. People can go there. So we have to hope that the father understand that he's a man, and this is the man that you're dealing with, and what men are capable of, and what this coach is capable of. So there he goes right there. People have noticed that. And I've had, people have told me, I don't like the idea of him being at her matches. And people have said, why is he there? As you just seen someone question that. But we know why he's there. Now, for the main part, let me just say this. He's not there to try to have sex with Coco. That's not why he's there. The main thing that he's there for is when Serena retires, he can have someone who's already pretty much well-developed there. She's well-developed there. She's on her way to becoming a superstar. Within 3 years, it wouldn't surprise me if she's the number one player in the world. But what I'm stating is that during coaching, right then and there, you can start to look at people and see things differently. Coco's going to develop and grow into a young woman. And keep one thing in mind, too. In France, I believe the age of consent is 17. So that's what I'm saying. The last thing you want is for the light that is behind these eyes and smile to be diminished, to be possibly having an affair with the coach. That's what I'm saying. So that's the reason why this video is titled The Shady Man in Serena's Life. He just rubs me the wrong way. Just a bad vibe. Regardless of, his Instagram I've seen of all the Black Lives Matter that he's supporting. I just get a strange vibe about him. I really do. And by Coco being, 16 now, she's very naive, probably very trusting, just all about tennis at the moment, and have no idea as to how people can behave, how people can be very shady. She hasn't seen that part. I'm sure that she has been very protected by her parents. And hopefully they will continue to protect her. And I'm sure they would. I don't mean to imply that they're not protecting her. But sometimes with the coach right there, you can be very trusting towards someone who you have turned your daughter over to just for coaching. That's what they have to be aware of. Because as of right now, they have done a great job. And she is going to be a phenomenal player. More so than what she is right now. Serena did not win her first Grand Slam until she was 17. Venus 18. And Coco's only 16 right now. She started beating top players when she was 15 last year. So this video right here is just a warning. And to parents out there, know the devil that you are dealing with. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you beyond and through.